Most people first learn about 5 elements when studying Feng Shui, BaZi, or Chinese medicine, but their understanding usually stops at simple memorization. Wood creates fire, fire creates earth, earth creates metal, blah blah blah, and that's it. In reality, they still don't truly understand the core meaning behind the 5 elements. Today, I will explain true meaning of the 5 elements in the simplest way possible, especially the concept of creation and control cycles. In this video, we will discuss what the 5 elements really are, the 5 elements relationships of creations and control cycles, how to apply the 5 elements in Flying Star Feng Shui, how to solve the kitchen water-fire clash problem. If you do not fully understand everything at the first time you watch this video, that is completely normal. I recommend watch this video several times and save it for future reference. First of all, what exactly are the 5 elements? In ancient Chinese philosophy, everything in the universe can be categorized into 5 energy phases: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. These are known as the 5 elements. But here is the important part. Most beginners misunderstand the 5 elements as 5 physical objects. They are not. Actually, there are 5 different types of energy behavior and transformation. For example, wood elements does not simply mean trees. Wood represents growth, expansion, and upward movement. Fire does not simply mean flames. Fire represents heat, radiance, passion, and explosive release of energy. Earth does not simply mean soil. Earth represents stability, grounding, and transformation. Metal does not simply mean physical metal. Metal represents concentration, contractions, and discipline. Water does not simply mean liquid water. Water represents flow, adaptabilities, wisdom, depth, and hidden potential. That sounds very abstract, right? But once you truly understand them, you begin to unlock the deeper principles behind natural, Feng Shui, Chinese medicine, and even human behavior itself. So, how do the 5 elements interact with each other? First, let's talk about the creation cycle. I believe that most people already know the basic creation cycle, like the circle clockwise direction in the figure. Traditionally, people explain this cycle using real physical objects, like wood creates fire. Because wood can be burned and serve as fuel to generate fire, so wood creates fire. Fire creates earth. Because after fire burns, the remaining ashes return back to the earth, so fire creates earth. Earth creates metals. Because minerals usually are produced within the earth, so earth creates metal. Metal creates water. Because metal can condense water droplets, so metal creates water. Water creates wood. Because water nourishes plants to grow, so water creates wood. These explanations are useful for beginners. However, the true meaning of 5 elements is not simply about physical production. It's about energy transformation. So let's understand again from the perspective of energy transformation. Wood creates fire because wood represents growth and expansion. When expansion energy reaches a peak, it transforms into fire as an explosive release of energy. Like a volcano building up the pressure to a certain energy until it finally erupts. When the wood energies reach its extreme, it will transform into fire. Fire creates earth. Because fire releases energy upward. After the release is complete, energy stabilizes and settles into Earth's energies, like a lava cooling down and solidifying into rock and earth. Earth creates metal. Because Earth slowly compresses and transforms over time, forming dense or concentrated energies, like a mirror and metal were found from the earth. Metal creates water because metal represents concentration and contractions. When condensation reaches an extreme, it creates like a fluid, like water droplet forming on a cold metal surface. Water creates wood. Because water nourishes life, it allows new growth and expansion to begin again. This creates an endless cycle of transformation. That is why the 5 elements can be applied across many different fields, such as Chinese medicines, using 5 elements energy transformation balance to regulate human body. Feng Shui, using 5 elements principles to harmonize people with their environments. Military strategy historically used the 5 elements concepts to understand balance and timing for wars. Even martial art, using 5 element characteristics to develop different styles of Kung Fu. The second 5 element relationship is control cycle. As you can see, the center of star shape in the figure. The 5 elements control cycle shows wood control earth, earth control water, water control fire, fire control metal, metal control wood. So wood control earth because plant roots penetrate into the soil, so wood will control earth. Earth control water because soil or dam can block water flow, so earth will control water. Water control fire because water extinguishes fire, so water will control fire. Fire control metals because high temperature heat melt the metal, so fire will control metal. Metal control wood because metal tools can chop or cut through wood, so metal will control wood. Many people think control means something bad, but in reality, control is the force that keeps the universe balanced. Imagine if the wood energy kept expanding forever without restraint, nature will fall into chaos. That's why metal exists to regulate wood. Therefore, the control cycle prevents any single element's energies from becoming excessive. Without control, everything can be out of balance. For example, if crime continues growing without restrictions, the society will become unstable. So the police or law enforcement exist to control the growth of criminal activities. This is similar to the concept of metal control wood. The true meaning of the 5 elements is not simply just creation or control. The true meaning is balance. When any element becomes excessive, imbalance appears. For example, too much fire may create aggressions and emotional instability. Too much water may create fear or anxiety. Too much metal may create rigidities and emotional coldness. This is why Feng Shui, Chinese medicine, and BaZi all focus on balancing energies rather than maximizing a single element. There is another important concept that very few people discuss: 5 elements draining cycle. Basically, the draining cycle is exactly same as creation cycles. It's just the perspective, how you look at them. For example, wood creates fire. Fire gets energy and becomes stronger, but at the same time, wood loses energy in the process. This is called draining. It's very similar to a mother giving birth and providing nutrient to her child. The child grows stronger while the mother becomes exhausted. Here I would like to salute to all mothers in the world for their unselfish great love. Let's discuss how the 5 elements applied in Flying Star Feng Shui. The key idea is to arrange Flying Star Feng Shui is to strengthen beneficial stars' energy and weaken harmful stars' energy. Let's use this year as an example. In year 2026, the number 2 illness star flies into the northwest sector. The number 2 star belongs to earth element. The northwest belongs to metal elements. Now, let me ask you a question. What will happen when number 2 earth elements fly to northwest metal elements? You are correct. Earth's energies will be drained by metal energies because Earth creates metals. This is actually good news. Since the northwest metal helps weaken the number 2 star's negative illness energies. However, since in period 9 from year 2024 to 2043, the number 2 star is the dominant harmful star. The negative energy is very strong. We want the illness energy as little as possible. That is why many Feng Shui practitioners place metal objects at the northwest sector this year. So you will think, what kind of things belong to metal elements? Then you will get the idea such as brass hulu, brass pisho, brass fine emperor coins, objects with metallic colors like white, silver, or gold. On the other hand, you should avoid strengthening the number 2 star's Earth energies. Let me ask you another question. So, what kind of things will increase number 2 Earth energies? You are correct again. Fire creates Earth, and Earth strengthens Earth. So don't put anything related to fire or earth elements. You will get the answer not to put objects with the color red, purple, pink, brown, or yellow, or China face, lightning, etc. Based on this logical process, Flying Star Feng Shui arrangement becomes very logical. You don't have to rely on any teachers anymore. You may have questioned, why not using wood control earth to fight with earth energy? That's a possibility. However, you don't know how strong the harmful energy. So the goal is not to fight the bad energy aggressively. It may create resistance or unintended consequences. Instead, to safely drain its strength. That's the best way to weaken the harmful star energy in Flying Star Feng Shui. Now let's talk about one of the most common Feng Shui problems in the kitchen. That is water-fire clash. The modern kitchen usually has the stove directly facing an island with a sink or refrigerator. The fire and water energies will conflict and affect the harmony and well-being of the entire family. Many people think the only solution is an expensive kitchen remodel, but advanced Feng Shui focus on energy meditation. That is to find the energy bridge to harmonize the conflicting energies. It is wood. Because water creates wood and wood creates fire, wood becomes the bridge between water and fire. So the water-fire clash becomes so-called wood and fire in radiant harmony. Instead of conflict, the energy has a smooth transition. So the most practical solution is placing a rectangular green mat in between sink and stove. It's just a small arrangement. Not only does this help reduce the serious water-fire clash, this even transforms direct conflict energies into balanced harmony energy flow. The 5 elements are not superstition. They are an ancient system developed through observing how energy moves, transforms, and seeks balance in nature. Once you truly understand the balance of 5 elements, you will begin to understand not only Feng Shui, Chinese medicine, BaZi, but also the deeper balance pattern behind life itself. Because true Feng Shui is not about fear, it's about creating harmony between people and their environment. If you enjoy this kind of content about Feng Shui and Chinese metaphysics, leave your comment below and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next video.